Today's topic is nurturing your spirit. It's the very first step in working with spirit guides. Sometimes people are very excited and they just want to jump ahead and they want to be able to connect and communicate with spirit guides, and they have no idea what they're doing. And so they may or may not get the spirit guide that has their best interest at heart, or they might just get a spirit that's walking around. Two different things, right? Spirit guides and spirits walking around. Okay, they're not the same thing. Sometimes we just sort of like bunch them all into the same group. Not the same thing. What I'm talking about is working with spirit guides. Those are the ones that are supporting you. They have unconditional love for you. They're waiting for you to request their support, because they don't operate without permission, or actually without invitation. So they have to be invited in to do the work. So people always say, well, how can I get started with that, Lisa? Well, here's the answer. The answer is begin today nurturing your own spirit. So what do I mean by that? That doesn't mean that you run out to the mall and get out your credit card and buy all the clothes that you've been looking at, since fall. Okay, that's not nurturing your spirit. That's just spending money. It satisfies the ego. That's not the same. All of us have spirit. Our spirit's connected to our soul, right? Spirit's also connected to this bag of flesh and bones that's walking around with a name, and a purpose. So it's the spirit that we're talking about, nourishing the spirit. Your spirit is individual. It's unique. It has a set of qualities and characteristics about it that is unlike another person. Our experiences as a human are part of our personality and part of our thinking mind, part of enculturization, gender socialization, all of those sorts of things. That's not the spirit, okay? Because that can be different from galaxy to galaxy, shall we say? So I'm talking about the spirit in its original form. It has a particular way that it likes to express itself, that comes naturally, that is in service to itself and inspires others when it is being authentic and being expressed. Okay, so it's how you best function in the world when you are deeply connected with your spirit. One of the ways to deeply connect is to begin to listen to those they almost feel like soul callings or wishful thinkings, or sometimes things that you love to do that you've been putting on the back burner. Oftentimes we've been judged or criticized about the things that we want to do, or the things that we want to say, or the way we want to express ourselves. So we end up getting squashed down, and then the spirit just doesn't get expressed, right? This is why things don't go well in life, or at least as well as they could be going. Sometimes they could be going even better than you realize that they could be, right? So in other words, you're experiencing something and there's something better, even though what's going on is pretty good. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. So nurturing your spirit, spend some time. And the best way to do this really is in I want to say complete solitude, but you hear me talk about meditation all the time, because meditation is really a great tool for this. Meditation separates the thinking mind, and what you're left with is the spirit. This is why meditation is so great as a tool for so many things, including nurturing your own spirit. So it gives you a chance to sit with your spirit, and it's at that point you can tap in and begin to feel, what does it need? What is missing? What is not being expressed that you really want to have be expressed? How can you do it? What's it calling you to do? These can be the answer, your spirit's answers to you can be as simple as slow down. We just need a little bit of breathing room here in our daily life. You're always packing the schedule, and we don't really get a chance to, as they say, stop and smell the flowers. We don't get a chance to admire a beautiful sunset. It could be something else. It could be self-care. Maybe you're still carrying around, the extra 25 pounds, and your spirit's like, we just want to be a little lighter, or maybe we want to be a little heavier. Believe it or not, okay? Maybe we want to be a little heavier. Don't have enough, mass for the spirit to be able to feel comfortable. That happens. So let me tell you the reason why this is so important. Beyond being able to express yourself as a spirit. Okay, there is another reason as it relates to working with your spirit guides, and that's this. It's about frequency. So we're vibrating our frequency as an energy every day, everywhere, all the time. And others are doing that as well. So you can feel this. You can feel it. The example that I like to give is oftentimes when people are in a crowded elevator, like in a big city, they have got those big elevators. You get into an elevator and you're by yourself, and what happens? You kind of relax. You got the whole elevator. You might wave to the camera, right? It's feeling good, no problem. Feel safe and secure if you're not afraid of elevators. And it feels good, right? You just relax. You put your arms back, maybe on the bar, ride the elevator up or down. When you step into the elevator and it's really crowded, what happens? Very rarely does anyone ever expand, because they have an awareness, an innate awareness, even at a spirit level or a subconscious level, that you're mixing energy with other people. And so we tend to contract, even our auras, we tend to contract them, and we're hanging out really tight. Now, we can feel the energy of other people quite easily because we're all here on the planet together, right? So we have a frequency that it's not the same, it's within a certain broadband, shall we say, right, from here to here. Spirit world does not vibrate on that same frequency, right? The spirit world has a different band that they're vibrating on. And this is why it's so difficult for some people to be able to reach out to their spirit guides and understand the signs and symbols, are able to receive the guidance or the support of the communication, able to have a conversation, able to get good information, put it into practical use, because they can't hear them, they can't feel them. And we use our intuitive senses to be able to communicate in a variety of ways, signs and symbols. Sometimes it actually ends up coming into the physical world. I know someone that always sees dimes, from a particular spirit, always, without exception. And they're in odd places. I have a relationship with a spirit guide who I get ladybugs when I want to work with this particular spirit guide. And it's almost instantaneous and in odd places. The middle of winter in a hotel room in Chicago, walking out of a restaurant and seeing an entire Volkswagen Beetle painted exactly like a real life ladybug, when I was talking about my spirit guide that brings me ladybugs. One will show up on my shirt. I once was in Germany driving and thinking about my spirit guide, and the roof of my rental car was beginning to be covered with ladybugs. All right, so that's how it's a physical manifestation of the communication. It doesn't usually happen that way. Usually, that's what everyone's looking for, or looking for the ghost to appear in the room. But that's not usually how it works. It usually works more along the lines of what your intuitive senses experience, because those are also operating in the sixth sensory realm, right? So the reason that nurturing your spirit is so important for communicating with your spirit guides is because it raises your vibration and it changes your frequency. And what happens is your frequency ends up becoming a closer match to the frequencies that are in the spirit realm. And it's in that place and space and time where you can communicate. So your nurturing your spirit raises your vibration so that your spirit guides can find you. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. Right? That's the answer. Nurturing your spirit, right? Beyond expressing your own self, your own spirit that is connected to your soul, and doing all of that. When you want to work with spirit guides, you need to raise your vibration. Nurturing your spirit is the best way to do it, so your spirit guides can find you. They can find you vibrationally, right? So your frequency, which was here, is now moving up here, and their frequency, which is here, is able to see you, and it's in this tiny, tiny space. It's tiny, tiny space where we connect. And the longer that you can hold the connection, right, the longer that you can communicate with your spirit guides, okay? So that's it. That's it. So pay attention, not to what the ego wants to do. Spending $100 on the mani-pedi today, it could be spiritual bypassing, where you really are using, nurturing your spirit as the excuse to spend $100 on the mani-pedi. Your spiritual bypassing, meaning using your spirituality to justify a behavior that probably shouldn't be going on, particularly if you can't afford, right, the $100 on the mani-pedi. So think about it. Is this really, an ego gratifying, satisfying moment, or is this me nurturing my spirit? You know the difference, because you feel this deep, grounded, centered satisfaction that has a joyful, loving element to it, and it is contained. It's contained within your being. You radiate that energy out, and you'll actually start to affect people and places and situations around you because you've raised your vibration. They don't have a choice but to change. So things that are around you that recognize your vibration has changed either come towards you because they want to be closer to it, or they recognize it because now you're on their frequency, or those that are frightened by it, they repel. They might even disappear from your life. Could even be your good friends. So they're frightened by your change in frequency. So it's not without risk, but you don't want to be dwelling in a place that isn't a good match for you. So you want to be able to raise your vibration so that you're fully expressing your spirit, and the spirit realm can see you, so you can work with spirit and get the support and guidance that you want.